Incoming transmission.
Good day, good day, good day. Excuse me. Yeah, I've barely spoken this morning, so voice is a little lower than usual. This is my I ain't talked to nobody yet voice. So I had recorded another episode, but I kind of felt like the episode was a little repetitive of what I have already stated. So I felt like there wasn't a need to reiterate the point. There was a need more so for me to recognize that the universe again is speaking to me and to if you heard that noise, that was my stomach digesting, sorry. But the universe was just telling me to stay in a particular mindset and continue to move and remind myself of who I am. So I felt like that was more so for me, and not quite to share because I've shared that element already when it comes to how my ecosystem is being developed. So today I just kind of wanted to share just the beauty of this week and just recognizing when you're tired. I had a show this week. It was amazing. Shout out to A Natural, to Elliot for Jersey Soul Artist Showcase, their first premiere show, their opening night. I shared the stage with Daria Jones and Janetza Miranda, and it was just a really, really incredible night. I thoroughly enjoyed myself performing. It just, again, I love when I have those moments where I'm reminded of how much I love to do this music thing and how much I love to change an energy in a room and how much I love to inspire a good time and how much I love to allow people to forget anything that was troubling them in that week or in that day or in that moment, and just uplift them and bring them up and bring them into a higher frequency. If anything, the healing begins there with my music, and I realized that I was so different from everybody else. We all were very different, but we all had the same intention that night, and it was, I don't know, it was just a really, really, really special union. And again, I walked away from that and I was like, yeah, I was like, man, I want to do this tomorrow and I want to do this the day after and I want to do it the day after that and the day after that and the day after that. But unfortunately, I did not. I had to go to work the next day, but I realized how tired my body was. And it wasn't a tired of, oh, the night was long the previous night. It was a tiredness of constantly doing the same routine. And it took me a minute to recognize that. It took me a minute to understand that that's where the exhaustion was, because I worked all of Friday and I was like, whoa, like I could barely keep my eyes open. My focus was all wrong and foggy, and I still was able to navigate the day, but there were certain things that I just could not deal with. There were certain folks that were trying to get my attention and wanted to talk to me, and I was like, yeah, I don't have the capacity for that right now. So they're gonna have to hit me up on Monday. And I just realized how much I was just exhausted of that routine. And I realized again that I'm putting too much energy into the things that are not truly benefiting me. You've all have heard me talk about how exhausting and demanding my job is on an emotional level and on an intellectual level. It's constant problem solving without a lot of thank yous, and that's what makes it really, really difficult, you know. But with music, there's stated thank you and welcoming when you open yourself up to the moment of enjoying that frequency of sound and allowing it to rush over you, allowing it to swoop you up, allowing it to vibrate all around you, allowing you to just give into it. There is a ritualistic type of energy and thrive and like just sorcery behind it. It is really, really magical. I looked at the audience faces, and a lot of times people don't know how to perceive me, and I've grown to understand that. So with that, I have understood that whatever first song that I sing, it has to be something that hits you immediately, because I have to draw you in. I have to allow you into my world. And as soon as I allow you into my world, now I can give you a tour of this whole entire ecosystem, this whole entire planet, this whole entire world that is who I am, that is LH, that is Lenny Harold. And so that happened that night, and I could see that people just didn't know how to perceive. But I think I've talked about this before, because sometimes I've talked to friends, and I don't go back and I listen to these sessions. I only listen to it when I know in my spirit that I'm kind of done, and then I go back and I reflect on them. So I don't know if I have repeated this or not, but there is something shifting within me. Like, I know that there is a new artistry that is giving birth. And it's so funny, as I was putting this set together, I always go inside and I always go, okay, what energy do I want to give? And what am I tapping into? Like, what is it that I want to give the audience? And for some reason, the only thing that just kept repeating itself was just having a good time. So I wanted the music to just be something that was high energy. I was telling Anat that I was like, this was the first time I haven't put stop time my song Stop Time in a set, and I just didn't feel like it was needed. But I put Spoil You, my song Spoil You, back into the set, and it gave, if not the same power and the same attention. So I was like, okay, I can play around with these different things, but as soon as I create the invitation and people can walk through that portal, nonetheless, of into this world that I'm giving them, that I'm allowing them access into, and to have that good time. I was like, then it's all up from there. Now I can truly navigate you. I can put on a different type of GPS and take you on a tour. But again, I kept feeling like, yo, I want to just have a good time. So I made sure that the set was structured around just feeling good. And I think it did its job. Because at the end of the day, I always want to be a tool, and for whatever spirit is telling me, whatever source is telling me, and I think I was. I actually know I was, because I was also reminded this week to me about connecting to the things that provide the highest amount of joy and the highest amount of love frequency. And that night, man, I connected to the high frequency of just joy and love, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. And my body knew the next day that this was not what gives me joy. Yes, do I like helping people? I do. But helping people at a constant, with sometimes not being able to take the time that you need in order to refuel yourself so you can be what people need in those moments, becomes a task, and it becomes draining. Yeah, you can call out, but then you got to make that time up, and then it becomes even more stress, and then now your schedule is all mixed up if you have other priorities, and then you have to gain that PTO time, and you got to stack that up just in case you want to have one of those mental health days, and it just becomes a lot. And then say if you're saving those PTO days for some type of vacation that you really want to have in order to decompress properly, you know what I mean? All of those stresses even go into just the whole stupid structure of working in 9 to 5. And yeah. And that was the revelation, I think, throughout the whole week was that power. This gives you joy, Lenny. Music gives you joy. It's your first love. It's the first thing that you were able to attach yourself to, that you were able to feel like you could do anything. You could express yourself how you wanted to freely. It didn't matter. You can go back into being the shy, sometimes non-responsive person that just kind of keeps everything to the chest, and being kind of wary about sometimes even trusting folks and bringing people in. But music allows you to do that, and allows you to share sometimes things that you're not able to with people for whatever reason, whether if it's fear of misunderstanding or fear of just being way too vulnerable or whatever. Like, I was always able to express myself through music. It was the first tool that enabled me to do so. And it gives me joy. It gives me joy. It is what I call my superhero ability. Is the frequency of sound, the frequency of the vibration, I should say, of entertainment. That is my superpower, and I hold that. And I've also been reminded of a bunch of different things, because I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and I've just been gathering little gems, little moments, and going into this next album project, or EP project, whatever it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be, but just new music in general. I am honing in on some things that have always been gold to me. So, yeah, that's about it. I am also preparing. Actually, I won't share that yet. I'll share this. I'll share that afterwards, after I've gone through it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for today. Have a wonderful day. And that's it. That's it. Yours in shadows and in starlight. It's your boy LH signing off.